right? In all the three stages, right, a large language model always learning, right? In the training time, it doesn't have anything. So you take a data set, right? You take a data sets about, let's suppose, images, right? We want to build a text to image model, right? Where any image come, right? Or you might have heard about Delhi or other softwares, right? Like there are a lot of softwares you can try, and you give a prompt and it produces a new iterative image, right? Basically, so that's basically a text to image model kind of scene, right? But you might have built a generic model. Imagine you want to do specifically for 3D images, right? Now basically what you will do on the fine tuning level, right, you will take the 3D images and fine tune it more, right? But the initial layers are frozen for images only, right? Those cannot change. Those know how to convert this, frames or bits into, any zero and ones, right? And able to compute on a GPU level, right? So you fine tune it and then you produce an inference. So all on three level, on the training level, you're putting a data set. On the fine tuning level, you're putting like a supervised fine tuned data set, or you can do you can also try structuralized data sets. And on the inference level, what you can do basically is just a second, sorry. On the inference level, basically you also have RLHF, which we call reinforcement learning through human feedback, right? So you can basically do this. You're eventually getting this human feedback even when you're doing this prompt engineering, right? Or you can say, just a second, guys. Sorry, just a second. Just a second. Sorry.
By the way, folks, meanwhile, let me just tell you, like at the end of it, what I'll do is we have a campaign running. I'll sort of, and that, I mean, we are launching it through you guys. So later on we are going to launch Koboto tokens, and you can redeem it. We just have a sort of a running campaign, which I'll share with you the link and all, and you can actually do like certain tasks and get Koboto tokens. I mean Koboto points now, which will later on get converted to sort of Koboto tokens whenever we launch a token. And of course, we are working hard towards launching it, and later on probably, hopefully, it reaches some level where uh, I mean it has good value. So that's the value we are providing to you guys, and so stick till the end. I'll just share with you the link. Meanwhile, you can just explore it and you can see the task there, and then you can actually get Koboto points, which will later on get converted to Koboto tokens whenever we launch it. Yeah, I think Fardin, if you're ready, you can continue.
Yeah. Sorry, something emergency call came. But yeah, so that's where you do this kind of feeding on all three layers, and you're able to produce inference. And when we're talking about LLMs or agent, there are similar things. What agent can basically interact with toolings, same like humans can do interact with more toolings, and that's why humans are the more superior animal on this planet, right? So per se, like we created this fire, we created these toolings like where wheels and other things other animals not able to do, and that's why they cannot fast track that same way, right? Same thing, LLMs are generic, they can produce inference, but they do this this feedback loops? Can they able to interact with the environment, right? So imagine you have a web3 wallet, right? You want to do transaction, an LLM can give you suggestions, but can it do implementations? No, right? So now with the possibility with agents, you can do implementations also, right? Imagine you integrate with a kind of a Web3 wallet like a MetaMask, generally people use, integrate a Web3 agent. Now someone put the money, right? And you want to do basically asset allocation, right? He doesn't know. He put his $10,000 there. Now the agent will learn from this environment of Web3 data, and know, okay, I want to invest in that token and when to sell, when to buy, right? So this kind of things can be done with this agency, right? Basically utilization of tools, right? And that's what Koboto Network is, right? One thing is you don't have to go to a very big large language model to do computation every time. What you can do, you come to your memory pathways of other agents, you can compute on that based on the reputation. Okay, one agent might be better in doing, DeFi strategies. One agent might be good in risk assessment, right? One agent might be good in something else, right? So all the agents can coordinate to each other and produce network wide inference also and individual inference also. So that's what adaptability Koboto brings that other network doesn't bring, which is like if there are networks, they can bring, okay, network wide inference or they can bring individual inference. But can it be like natural or collective intelligence as humans are? You can see humans as collective also. Somewhere families are living, somewhere individuals are also living, right? But you won't find this in other networks like computer simulated networks. And that's what we are trying to put it, where inference can be produced by individual agents and maybe collective agents also on the network wide. So these are the things, and we able to achieve it through memory pathways, right? I can I can show you right now on my screen. So this is the, just a second. Is my screen visible, Anand?
Yeah, now it is.
Yeah. So you come to our Medium page. You can also like these posts and everything. You can repost on your Twitter wherever, because that's how we do it, right? So yeah, this is the blog you can read how memory pathways able to convert this kind of computation. You don't have to go to a centralized algorithm or centralized neural network to compute. Agents can coordinate to each other based on attributes and what operations they have to do. So yeah, this is the study we did. And second thing is basically inference can be produced on aggregated states and coordinated state. What I mean by aggregated state is basically we can collect inference or aggregate inference from other networks. So there are other networks like Alora, BitTensor, if you heard about, or any other, you know, LLM network or agent network, right? We can aggregate the inference from there and produce one single aggregated state. Second thing is coordinated state, where like these agents can coordinate, right? And on our level also, we refine it more, right? So these are the things are there. But now we comes like where this modularity comes in building agents on Koboto. So it's very simplified. How you can build agents on Koboto is like there are three important part. One thing is compute, where you're gonna get the compute from. Second thing is, okay, where you wanna provide this verifiability, which device you are producing inference from, which LLM model you're producing inference from, right? That's what we have to provide on chain, because most of the procedure to run an agent uh, on Koboto is very simplified. You can run in a Dockerized container, right? So what is basically the procedure? Third thing is basically Koboto also provide data sets to fine tune your model. So if you want to build an MEV agent or some other agent, right? You can basically do it with using data sets provided by our partners on Koboto. So what you can do in simple Dockerized container is basically you spin up any kind of GPU, either as H100, A100, which kind of whatever agent you're running, you can spin up that. Second thing is like you can run this verifiability on the server. Okay, you are using H100. You get the proof from our partners ecosystem. Second thing is, okay, from which LLM you're taking it, right? Or you can build your own fine-tune LLM using our toolings and other things, or you can do it on Hugging Face. Like that's open for developers, and then you can provide inference on a network. So what do you gonna earn by this? So whenever some requests come, so basically agents gonna compete for reputation, right? So whenever some applications are consuming this inference or answers, right, they can ask individual agents also, or they can ask the whole network also. So if some individual agent is getting better, maybe there are chances more application will ask that individual agent, right? And third thing is individual agent can also aggregate, right? That's what we call dynamicity, right, in our network. It can aggregate from other agents, right, from their memory pathways, right, tracing that, and give that inference by itself, right? So becoming a leader through random verification slot, he can become a leader and give this kind of production of inference and earn reputation plus token on the network. So it's a very dynamic network also in that way. And eventually, like, it's very energy efficient. You don't have to pay that much for compute. Eventually in testnet phase, if you're going to launch, we're going to do that free compute. So you can launch your agent, you can earn tokens, you can make money easily on top of that. So there are multiple things you can build on top of Koboto. I can just share, which is like DeFi optimization strategies, MEV agents. These are pretty fields. I'll just open it.
And meanwhile, like definitely you must have few doubts, like few
Yeah,
terms you might have not understood. That's fine. I mean, some of you have like no clue about AI at all, so I mean that's fine. You can actually, that's why I'm sending all the links on the chat. You can
yeah,
just go through them, and probably later on, if you figure out something, we have a Telegram group. You can join that and ask few doubts. In fact, you can ask any doubts now if you have, anything you have not understood. It can be like as basic as it can get, in terms of like what AI, what decentralized AI is, or what Koboto is actually doing. You can ask any doubts you have. Yeah, Fadin, you can go ahead.
yeah. Anything you can ask. So these are the agents, like intent based solvers. Basically, it's like imagine there is fragmentation of liquidity, right? And someone has to provide liquidity on BNB chain, but someone suddenly need liquidity on BNB chain, but it doesn't have tokens. It has on Ethereum chain, which gonna take a latency of 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. So a solver come who has liquidity on BNB chain and directly provide that liquidity, and after 1.5 minutes, it basically get that liquidity back plus some commission for providing that, and that's what we call solvers, intent-based solvers. These kind of agents you can build automating, like, okay, someone can prompt, it doesn't have to go to a solver network, it can just write in a natural language process, it come and on his interface just send the request to Koboto network. Okay, I need $500 on $5,000 on BNB chain on this contract. And suddenly the liquidity go after he sign and do signatures and everything, right? Which might take 4 to 5 seconds to him, right? So that kind of thing can be done, right, with intent-based solvers. You can build optimal asset allocator, way to allocate the asset. So currently people doesn't know, right? Most of the people or retailers lose their money, right? So that kind of optimal asset allocator agents can be built, right? LLM can learn from the Web3 environment. Web3 data is public, right? We're gonna structuralize for you and provide on Koboto network for free, right? So you can use that also. Uh, you can build prediction agents, right? So who can predict markets, or people can bet against these prediction agents. If some agent is predicting, okay, the market is gonna go up or down, right? Liquidity management is a very big issue also in Web3, right? So that can be also built. I guess it's not scrolling, Anand, the website.
It is okay. There are other things as well, right? I think, yeah, now
Yeah.
it is.
So basically, you can build these kinds of MEV agents. We call it MEV is basically a value between builder and proposer, right? So if you take anything, like if you're taking, if you had heard a term called validator, how many people had heard validator? Like
I think folks who have some clue on blockchain would have definitely heard of it. Like what's validator?
Yeah, like, did you ever heard? You can comment, like.
I think Atharva, Utkarsh, of course, yeah, they have heard.
So,
Or you can
yeah,
actually explain like validator in like few
yeah,
lines.
yeah. So validator is basically, imagine there is applications you're building on top of any blockchain, right? So there are two major parts, right? A validator do. One is execution, and second thing is consensus, right? Web3 is basically consensus only. Web2 was execution, right? There is no need of state machine replication. We call it SMR, right, in Web3, right? The machine doesn't have to replicate. You send the request to AWS server compute it, right, send back to the client, right? That's what happens generally in Web2. It just has to do execution. It doesn't have to send to the network to do consensus. And when we do consensus, nodes can be sitting at different zone on the planet, right? Maybe you're sitting in India where you have 50 MB per second. Maybe you're sitting in US where you have 1 GB per second, right? So the thing is, latency becomes an issue because everyone has to agree, right? So that's where when this timing, when the time comes, right, and there's a block time called like 12 second in Ethereum, you got time, right, to change the transaction flow. So imagine you put the transaction first, but you are paying zero point 0.1 ETH. Someone come back and paid zero point 0.2 ETH, right? So the proposer or the leader can put the zero point 0.2 ETH transaction first and your transaction, after that. And that's what happened in MEV. They try to extract this maximal extractable value, a minor extractable value, right? So you can build this MEV agents also, right? Where in this validator we separate this part, execution and proposer part, and now like basically executions are done by builders. So they do bidding basically on each other. So there is something called searcher, which go in the memory pool of transaction. He search for transaction, which he can extract value. He build bundles. He send the bundles to builders, right? Builders take these bundles and again send back to the proposer. Proposer just sign it. Whosoever has bid highest for the bundles, right? He just accept the bundles, right? Whichever carry. He just say, okay, I'm the leader, but I will accept the highest bidding bundles. So these kind of automated agents can be built, which can directly capture this value much faster than the static algorithms, right? Current MEV
Mhm.
agents are static algorithms, right? You can build these adaptive agents, which can, that basically static algorithm cannot scrap everywhere, right? But adaptive algorithm can go to normal tokens, smaller tokens, right, and get that MEV extract out. So these kind of things can be built. Portfolio tracking agents, basically. If you want to know, okay, I like you're a portfolio manager and you have to maintain 30%, yearly, and you have to give 15 to 20% back to your investors, right? You have to maintain that, right? You cannot you have to know when to take and market exit and everything. So this is very good for asset managers, like they're big companies, right? Millions dollars, $1 billion, like BlackRock also running, which will be useful for them also, right? And eventually you can do it more efficiently, right? You are in college, you might not have money for affording compute, which you can afford on Koboto for free, right? And second thing, it's very cheap, right? We can do it lesser than the biggest hardware architecture on the planet, Blackwell, right? We can do in 0.2 0.5 joule per token, right? So this will be pretty good to build on that. You can build this in Web3. Basically, there are improvement proposals, right? Where Ethereum improvement proposal, if you heard, every network has their, right? Sometimes the DAO doesn't have, you know, uh, the knowledge where to vote, right? So an agent can give review. Okay, if the DAO vote in agreement of this, if the DAO vote against of that, it can happen like this. So lot of network or application also wanting this kind of improvement proposal review agents right now, which you can also build on Koboto Network. Then there is DAO governance where they have to manage their funds, right? what to do with the DAO capital, where to put it, should we give the grants or not to these people. Lot of design and thinking thing an agent can do beside a human being, right? There is things like decentralized credit scoring you can build where, okay, right now we don't have this lending thing, right, on credit, on basically, sorry, on uh, on Web3 right now, right? So you can do this kind of decentralized credit scoring also built on Koboto network. So these kind of things you can build, and maybe a lot of more use cases like currently coming with. You can use a Eliza library, right? I can just show you which. Just a second. This is a library you can build autonomous agents. We are building currently our library, but you can build agents using this library. I can share this link with you guys also. So these kind of libraries can be built, and these are pretty good, like to build out. You can build agents around, if you had seen on TikTok, there's a famous agents on virtuals, right? Or you want an agent that can, do your project work, right? Or can write thesis for you, can write code for you, right? There are multiple agents you can build. Not all the agents, but lot of agents you can build using Eliza or our libraries also. And you can even make agents coordinate. So the one of the function I forget about Koboto is multi-agent systems, right? These agents can coordinate to each other and produce more better inference. So prompt to text can coordinate to text to video, right? So sometimes you're scrapping the data from Twitter, right? And it has to understand a video, right? It cannot read the text, right? It can go to a video and get the knowledge, right? And provide back to your LLM model or agent. Okay, it can do learning from the video also and produce inference. A lot of things you can build on Koboto, and like we love to have you on our
I
network.
think Jishantu has a doubt. Jishantu, you can actually, ask on, like, you can unmute yourself and ask as well
Yeah,
if you want.
Yeah, hi, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
First of all, thank you for explaining such an technically complex topic in the easiest manner. So, I am Jasanto, joining you guys from Assam. So, I have basically one doubt. Are you guys going to be chain agnostic tools like the push protocol, which is usually has to have the push for notification system in different chains, or are you going to be a completely independent chain itself, which will have agents and that can interact with the remaining chains?
yeah, that's what I explained. Like we are a agent network basically. Push protocol is a notification protocol. It's just to provide notifications to you. What you can do basically on our network, you can leverage our partners' compute, verifiability, and even data sets to build your agents, right? And once you build these agents, you can think like whichever use case you want to build, right? Second thing is you don't have to go to a big LLM, right? Eventually you're running a big LLM like 450B like Llama model, right? You don't have to go to that. You can compute on 200 million weights on your memory pathways. So memory pathways you can read more, which is basically you can ask other agents, right? Where like, okay, they might have with time learning or produce inference in a test net or dev net, right? Okay, they are better in this, right? You can ask and basically trace those memory pathways and get back the inference from them also. And they can compute on their local cache or memory, which we call context addressable memory, CAM. So they can compute rather on the whole model, they can compute on the smaller CAM, context addressable memory, right? And produce the inference. So
Yeah, got it. Yeah, thank you.
pretty great things you can build out. And I'll just share one, like, yeah, Anand, can you share the medium? They can read more.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, I've shared like all the links. The Medium link is there, the link tree is there.
Yeah, please follow our Twitter. Like, I think we provide the feed there also. You can connect with us anywhere. You can fill the, if you want to build an agent currently, what you have to do, you just have to come to Koboto Network and click on join waitlist and fill this form. So you can fill which kind of things, and we will help you to build agents. We'll provide you compute grants and everything to build your agent, right? So yeah, that's what you can do. And if you are open for any other things, like we might be looking for, I think, ambassadors in universities. I think we didn't fill it. I think we're gonna do it in few minutes, or I think it will be added. You can eventually be an ambassador in your university and promote about Koboto also.
Yeah, in fact, like we are at, we just started and we would need support of definitely all the colleges out there, all the DAOs, all the communities who are blockchain related to sort of uh, take forward this AI revolution, because like decentralized AI is still sort of very, it's not talked about much in India. That's what we're trying to do, talk about it. In fact, we had our, I'm not sure if you heard about India Blockchain Week, which happened in Bangalore. We had our event there, which was, I think, one of a kind crypto AI based event. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to promote this ecosystem forward in India, and in fact, it's such a nice way for all of the developers to build agents. And I mean, everyone is out there is search for jobs, but nobody actually thinks to sort of build something of their selves, and that's what we're trying to do. As developers, you have that ability to actually code it out there and build AI agents, which can actually later on be big. Like if you build some awesome AI agents, which people are loving it, and you can definitely have a huge thing for yourself going on. And initially in colleges, or initially generally, you need a lot of investment to develop agents in terms of like compute uh, and other stuff. You need to actually shell out money, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reduce that. In fact, almost everything is free on Koboto. You just need to sort of uh, be there on a platform. Of course, we are still on the nascent stage, but when you join our socials and when you start following us on X or join a Telegram, later on, as we move, we are going to come out with developer specific content as to how you can build AI agents step by step on our platform, either through blogs or on a website, uh, or we're gonna communicate on Telegram about how we can do that. So definitely join our platform, and hopefully uh, we'll have ambassadors, and each colleges we have, I think we have closed like IITs, like few big IITs. We have like people there who can actually take it forward there, but we're trying to do it for all the colleges in India, and so that there's this sort of AI revolution which is created. So yeah, I mean, and by the way, like now, if you have any doubts about decentralized AI or Koboto, or how you still have doubts how we can benefit you can just ask it, and it can be like very basic doubt as well. Even if you, because I think Web2 people out here, you might have a lot of doubts, but no worries. I mean, the intention was not, you learn or you sort of know everything on the onset, but definitely you must have gotten some context over here, and you can ask your doubts over here, or later on if you have any doubt, you can ask on Telegram group, anywhere you want. We are always open. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're audible. I think maybe people might have come out. I think Jishant, I think a couple of people asked doubts, and maybe others will have doubt as they go through our documents, and as they. I think the good stuff for all of you would be to actually learn up. I mean, you can go through our docs, and the terms that you don't understand, you can ask us, or you can just search it on the web. And I think that would be a great way for you all to sort of get introduced to the things, because it's sort of a complex topic, because it's crypto. I mean, at one end you need to know Web3, how Web3 is different from Web2, and on the other end you need to know like what's AI and what's happening here. So we understand that it might be tough, but yeah, you can actually. And by the way, I've also put the link of the quest that we have, and that this is something we are doing for our initial members, initial developers who join Koboto Network. Uh, I mean, we could have straight away given you a few sort of points just to sort of showing up for this session. But yeah, we sort of gamified it a bit, and you can just complete this mini task and get Koboto points. And later on, whenever we launch, you'll be definitely compensated for sort of doing it. So yeah, you can definitely join the Interact campaign as well. And I think as Soumya has mentioned, she'll ask doubt afterwards. Uh,
Okay, sir.
and yeah, we didn't. Should we take some sort of a, and yeah, if you sort of like the session, you can definitely post on Twitter, and yeah, definitely we have plans for that. If you like sort of tweet about us, you'll be compensated either through merch or definitely we'll add up you on the Koboto points. So we have Koboto points is a sort of a structure for every activity, every engagement that you do, you get compensated for it through Kobuto points and or through merch. So yeah, it's there. So definitely do post. It will earn you like more rewards in terms of points later on. So yeah, yeah. And I was thinking like anyone of you like comfortable opening up your uh like cameras. We don't generally do that because we like we want you to be comfortable and listen to sessions, but I just want to take a sort of a screenshot. Let me know if you're comfortable. I just need like 9, 10 people who can do that. Let me also do it. Hopefully I'm visible. Yeah. Awesome, guys. I think we have few people who opened up the cameras. So what I'll do is I'll just take a screenshot. I'm not sure how. I think I won't ask you to make faces like, but I've taken the screenshot. No worries. Uh, thanks all of you for sort of joining this session, and uh, you must have doubts. Definitely ask on the Telegram groups, and we are happy to answer. Because it's at very like crypto AI as a space in itself is very new in the world, and in India, it's not even being talked about. In fact, we are like one of the few crypto AI projects based coming out of India, and hopefully the aim is to sort of take it ahead. Uh, cool. I think awesome. Thanks for switching on your cameras, and thanks for coming for the session on a Sunday. Sure, sure. Thank
Thank
you all.
you.
Have a nice
Thank
day.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
See
Thank you
y'all.
so much.